And when your confidence is high, you want to get people into the game quickly too. So Sophie Molyneux, we mentioned during the batting innings, got a 50 in the practice match, but she also picked up 5 for. So must be feeling at the moment that the ball's coming out okay.
How much do you discuss getting through overs early quickly? Like, just let's try and get some overs on the board quickly and take balls away from the chasing side. Is that ever stressed, or?
I think it's more about understanding the momentum of the game at any given time.
Okay. That's nicely put away. She's the dangerous player.
So it's about knowing that when you're on top as a bowling unit, yes, you want to rush through. You want to make sure that the batter's just looking up before you deliver that next ball. And vice versa, when the batters are on top, you want to slow it down and not let them keep getting into a groove and sort of letting the overs and the balls slip away from you, so to speak. And that was a beautiful shot from Sophie Devine, splitting the 2 ring fielders again.
It's the end of the 3rd over, none for 14.
This is the goal Drew McIntyre has been looking for well over a decade.
You've known Meg Lanning for a long time. I've known Meg Lanning for a long time. How many times have you been hugged by her?
Oh, look, you know, we've won state titles together and, you know, we've done a lot of good things. And never. It's like we've lived in COVID all our lives.
Surely
She's kept 1.5 metres away from me.
Come on. Surely you have. Once.
Oh, maybe once or twice, but not a lot.
Well, that was a pretty special moment for them. You sort of lose yourself a bit, I imagine, in that moment.
I'd like to say I warmed her up because there was a hug on the ground after they won the World Cup. And I think that allowed Katy Perry the freedom.
I'm not sure.
Katy Perry.
I'm not sure that facial expression was the same when she was hugging you as it was when she was hugging Katy Perry.
Wow.
That was one look of elation.
Right.
The story, I can't believe poor old Rachel Haynes' story. That's one of them. That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh, Rach.
God.
For those that don't know, Rachel Haynes missed that magical moment on stage with Katy Perry.
I'll tell you why after this ball.
Ooh.
Free hit coming. Because?
Drug testing. Wouldn't you just take the
Come with me.
The supervisor up on stage and give the supervisor a moment to talk about?
It might have been a bit. What's Rachel Haynes doing up there on stage? It might have been a bit awkward, Mel.
No, but Rachel Haynes didn't know it was happening. She had no idea that it even happened until afterwards. So she's already gone.
And she takes advantage of it. So it was the free hit. It was pitched on leg and over-pitched at that. One mistake becomes a second and a big one at that for Megan Shute.
Well, we talked about the Ash Gardner Hill. This could be Sophie Devine's corner at the moment because she's hitting with the wind. So interesting enough, swapped around Megan Shute. Ball coming in. That's Sophie Devine's hitting area.
She picked up from where she was 769 runs she made last year in the WBBL at 76.9. Sophie Devine, that's what's to come. She is imposing with bat in hand. Oh, just again.
There's times in the field where you just sit back a fraction, don't you? Because you know the ball's going to be, and you give yourself a little bit of time. And that's what Sophie Devine wants to do. So she's going to try and keep the fielders on that inner ring circle, because I think the Kiwis will also know singles are probably going to get them over the line as well. So if you can push players back, take the singles, you're in.
It's nicely timed by Green too.
Well, if you have a look at where Meg Lanning is, she's fielding at a short cover there, but she's actually holding the ring. Whereas when Australia were batting, particularly when Meg Lanning was on strike, Katie Perkins was right in there creating the pressure. So very different tactics between Australia and New Zealand in the field.
Good over this for New Zealand. 10 from it, 1 to come. And that's what it will be. None for 24. Back. The worm. Welcome back.
The worm never goes out of style, Andy.
Love the worm.
Well, interestingly enough, they are on par. So the only difference between the Australian and the New Zealand innings so far is that the Aussies had lost a wicket. But Devine looks like she's reading the pitch really well out there, and Maddie Green just needs to know exactly what her job is. Keep getting off strike.
Lisa Cummins in for her first spell. Hometown hero for the Brisbane Heat. And this is the area that the New Zealanders also erred early doors.
Yeah,
They just lost their shape. It was all going down leg. The first time that Maddie Green has opened up the batting for New Zealand. She's found herself, she had the start of her career, you sort of kept seeing her and you were thinking, what's she going to give us at some stage? And then she came over and played for the Brisbane Heat, and I think, if anything, this could be the next 12 months that really makes the making of her.
And it's a great time for her as well to be at the top of the New Zealand batting lineup, because she's got the experience of Devine around her, Suzie Bates coming in at 3, Amy Satterthwaite coming in at 4. So she's going to learn so much from those players, and for her to have a really good run at it at the moment with those experienced players in and around her, I think it's a great opportunity for her career, as you pointed out, Mel.
27 years of age. She's played a lot of cricket now. She's in that stage of her international career where she's ready to make a step up to this grade and seize a spot.
Well, isn't this just beautiful? Delissa Kimmins and Laura Harris getting married in the off-season.
Look at that dress.
Laura Harris, the Harris family always a little bit eccentric, so that's just right up there. Don't expect anything less, but beautiful photo and a beautiful day.
And that's the chance. It's got the leading edge. Should be taken. It is. So Kimmins gets the breakthrough. Green goes. Australians have got one back.
Well, single or married, it doesn't really matter much for her, because she comes on, she always makes something happen, does Delissa Kimmins, and this is the pitch. You cannot close the face early on this pitch. You can shoot just with a little bit of a heart palpitation there for a moment, but Maddie Green departs her first stint at the top of the order for New Zealand for 5, and the Kiwis 1 for 27.
Only thing that matters is the love for cricket. Witness 2 power-pack cricket series. West Indies Women's Tour of England 2020 and New Zealand's Women's Tour of Australia 2020. Live on Sony 6.
So this is the partnership around which it revolves so much for New Zealand. Two high-quality, world-class players together. They know the conditions so well out here in Australia, having spent so much time here playing. New Zealand will be hoping they can eat into this target significantly before this partnership comes to an end.
You see her trying to do too much with that Maddie Green, close the face of the bat.
Had a look, didn't it?
Family just.
I wanted to pop out. Nothing easy is about this, like any sort of skied ball today. That wind's going to be swerving the thing around. It's high levels of concentration required. Oh, and Bates a bit uppish there. Successful, 1 for 28.
Serie A, Roma versus Juventus, live on Sony 10-2.
Jonathan to keep going here. Tight first over. Economy rates have been outstanding in recent times. And again, draws the false shot from Sophie Devine.
You can see exactly where she's trying to take it here, over that extra cover, over that mid-off area. If there's any width on offer, just trying to overhit it.
Down.
She's crunched that.
Jeez.
Jeez, it's a powerful blow.
She is one of the most powerful batters going around world cricket. There's no doubt about it. There's probably a handful of players in the same sentence. Her, Ash Gardner, Lizelle Lee probably rounds out the top three, but just such power. She doesn't even need to go over the top to score a boundary. She just needs to go along the ground, and person at mid-off, whoever that was, they didn't even get a chance to move.
No. She makes, there's a school of thought. I actually think the ropes can be pushed further out now. The batters are in the women's game are getting powerful enough to have those ropes pushed back, I reckon. But she makes them look like they're set up for an under-7 game, the way she hits the ball sometimes.
We should see the way she hits a golf ball.
Oh, really?
Oh, my goodness. Takes me 2 shots to get to her first drive,
right.
and she's gone from the men's tee, and I've gone from the ladies'
Right.
tee.
What's her short game like?
Pretty good too.
No, it's disappointing.
Get it. Hold on, shooter. Go
She looks
moving.
in good nick here, doesn't she?
Feet are moving well. Really, really well.
Hey, tidy here. Come on.
And I think in that short turnaround, she's assessed this pitch really well and gone, this is my game plan for when I come out and play.
It's well bowled. Good finish. 4 runs from it. 1 for 32.
UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa, live on Sony 10-2 and Sony 10-1, and in Hindi on Sony 10-3.
So Lenny sticking with spin. Only for her second over. Devine's got 25 of the 32. I think we can get down to Sophie Devine. What's your game plan on this pitch, Soph? How are you assessing it?
Oh, look, I think it was probably a little bit slower than we thought it was going to be. We probably learned a bit of that from the practice match the other day. Even some of the wickets that we got with the Aussies, just pushing at the ball a bit.
So the Smash sisters are back together, but probably not smashing it as much today, you think? A bit more placement?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's a bit more placement, a bit more finesse, which probably not a word that you use very often with me, but maybe more Suze.
discussions mid-innings, Soph, around how you're going to go about as a team chasing this total down?
Oh, look, we actually spoke about after the practice match. It's a bloody hard ground to defend.
We'll let her go now. Back on strike.
And following on from that, the stats prove it, doesn't it? There's, 7 of the last 8 have chased and chased well here. Even the Melbourne Renegades chased down 182 against the Heat.
Down. Hold on.
It's really important from a New Zealand point of view that Soph Devine takes majority of the left arm spinner here. It's a really good matchup for the Australians against Susie Bates. She tends to struggle with the left armers coming around the wicket.
Catch.
And this is the other thing. It's the Sophie Devine Appreciation Club, I feel like, at the moment. But the other thing I really like about her play is that she's got the power game to take any attack apart. And when she's doing that, it's brilliant to watch. But she's got this game as well. And she's comfortable playing both.
Come on, Wolfie. Nice, Georgia.
Good over from Molyneux. Just underline how important this partnership is. They put on 19 in this form of the game. They put on 1,900 runs together, which is 400 runs more than the next best partnership in women's international T20 cricket. So they've been prolific and vitally important.
And they just know each other so well. You can see them out there talking about how they're going to play the conditions, how they're going to play each of the bowlers. Devine will be speaking to Bates around what she thinks her best options are against Molyneux, against Jonathan. As you said, it's such an important partnership for the New Zealanders for them. If they are going to chase down this total, these two play a vital role in that.
Early stages of their partnership now, 8 runs from 14 balls. So it's been a patient start here. Bates finding her way into her innings. Getting a feel for the wicket as the leggy comes into the attack. Oh, it might have hit the stump. Did it make contact with the
I reckon it has. Confirmation there from Healy. Put him in too well. This is a good matchup too. Remember the New Zealand game in the World Cup, Wareham came on, got big wickets when Perry did the injury and came off. Wareham bowled a magnificent spell, and she got Devine and she got Bates. And she got Bates like that, LBW trying to pull the delivery.
Gee, that Bale didn't even move. Probably got the slightly heavier bails on in the windy conditions, I suppose.
Would love to see Georgia Wareham whip out a couple of wrong-uns today. She's been working really hard on those over the off-season, and it's going to be a really important part of her bowling in the next few years, particularly against the left-handers.
Oh, that's a good ball.
She's not one of the big turners of the ball for a leg break. You look at Amanda Jade Wellington, she turns the ball, but what they really like about Georgia Wareham is her consistency, but she can still beat both sides of the bat.
Pretty good competitor too, isn't she? She's a fighter, and her last ball of the innings, we saw what she did with the bat in hand. She's a really valuable player, and she's a real competitor.
And I suppose, like all young players, she's a real confidence player as well. And as Mel mentioned, last time she played against New Zealand, I think she got 3 for 17 or something. So
that's a good start. Just the 4 runs from it. 1 for 39. day. Those kids up on the hill with the sun shining and some good competitive cricket in front of them. And what a great way for kids to get introduced to the game through the Cricket Blast program. Registration's now open. That's where you go, playcricket.com.au, find out a bit more. Kminster continues successful in her first over. Attacks the stumps again.
We spoke about the success of Bates and Devine opening up. Now, they haven't today, and they've brought Maddie Green up the order, which I think is still, it lengthens that batting lineup quite a bit. But this is massive for Susie Bates. Top score during the last World Cup, it was 15, so didn't get away at any stage.
It's going to help balls like that. That flew. Yeah, it's a...
Good effort.
Well, that's a good bit of fielding in the end. To get something behind it, and she did. That was tough.
Geordie Wareham has almost drop-kicked this back to Elisa Healy. Oh. Does it come off the knee?
Yeah, it looked like it. Didn't flinch.
Freedom tough and Mortlake.
Yeah. All that.
You're talking about competitor, though. That's exactly it then, isn't it? She didn't hold back and wait to see it bounce and then just gather it in. She attacked it right from the get-go.
She's hammered another one straight to the field. She's left a couple behind today, I reckon, Sophie Devine.
Big difference in the two fielding efforts so far. It's really starting to tell a bit of a tale here in a small total, and not allowing these hits to go to the boundary and instead stopping almost everything that's coming their way.
Oh, was there a nick? Has she got the stumping? They've gone up for a couple here. I think they've gone for the caught behind. That's been turned down. And was she out of the crease? I think Healy thinks she's got her. It's a magnificent piece of work by Lisa Healy.
To director, we have a referral for a stumping. Can I see the front foot check for no ball first?
So they haven't given them the caught behind.
No, that's been turned down.
Bruce Oxford said it's off the pad.
Fair delivery. Can you move on to the best side on shot, please?
Oh, it's a great piece of keeping.
It's the foot. It's the foot. It's the foot. Oh.
Can we go through that frame by frame? I need to see when the bails are separated here.
What do you think, girls?
I think it's a great take for starters.
She got back.
Oh.
Can we go just through frame by frame there in slow motion?
It's hard to tell with the bail being black and the Aussies being in black as well.